Hello, welcome back to Reads of an Apple. My name is Stacy, and this little kitty is named Cheese. And we're here today to talk about the books I would like to read in January. I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I should hopefully be moving. I was told that an apartment should be opening up soon, and I should be able to move mid to late January, hopefully early February. I have been given by my family members the move-out date of January 31st, which is kind of terrifying because I do not officially have a place yet. And I'm getting really kind of frustrated because I can't tell you how many places I've applied or contacted, and I've never struggled finding a place like this before, and it's really kind of frustrating. And I wasn't expecting to be here so long, and it's kind of turning into a thing. But outside of that, I don't know how many of these I'm going to get to. So we will see what happens. After this past December, though, I started kind of really adding more audiobooks into my reading habits. So I'm hoping to continue that on moving forward. So this is going to be a lot, I am aware. However, we will see what happens. I do plan on doing a generic what I kind of have planned moving forward in January. And things might change once I have a place and I can just kind of get settled and not feel weird and like everything's in a tiny space and I don't have access to all my books and things like that. So we're just going to get into it. I usually participate in 2 book clubs every single month, and that is Rake Appreciation Society and the Smart Women Read Romance Patreon exclusive book. I don't believe a Rake Appreciation Society will have a book for January. I did not see it on Jenn's TBR, and I haven't seen a post of it anywhere, and they ended up postponing December's, which I still have checked out from my Hoopla, so I might try to at least listen to that one before it expires, but we will see what happens there. And then Smart Women Read Romance usually isn't until the end of the month. However, the December one I have not read yet, and I haven't seen when that meeting is, so I don't know. I don't quite know what's going on there, but I know Jessin gets pretty busy with her schoolwork, and then we just had all these holidays, so I don't know what's going on there. But if those clubs are doing a book in January, I will be reading them. As for read-alongs, I am participating in the SJM-along created by Jenn from the Book Refuge, and this month is Crescent City book number 1, A House of Earth and Blood. I do have my paperback copy. However, I saved out every other SJM book I haven't read yet except for Crescent City. I don't know why I did that. Probably because I thought, oh, that'll be in January. I won't have my books packed up for that long. But somehow, I was like, somehow I have A Court of Silver Flames, but that's because the paperback edition came out recently. So that's why I have that one now. Okay. My brain feels better. I feel better about not leaving it out. So yeah, I put in a hold with, I have 2 libraries available to me to the Libby, the town that I'm currently in and then the town I went to college in. I try to check out something ebook related or a movie or something at least once a year, and I've done more than that, but I try to keep my card active just so I have access because they have different holds and different availabilities of things. So I have access to 2 libraries, which is great. So I put in holds for the ebook for Crescent City on both of them. One of them says 6 weeks and the other one says less than 4 weeks, but there's 3 copies and there's 4 people and there's 5 people including myself waiting. So less than, so yeah, I'm hoping that comes in time before the readathon. Otherwise I might have to go through my books, but also hopefully maybe I will be moved by the time the live show is. This will be at the end of the month. It is January 29th is when the live show is. Also, the Ilona Andrews read-along is coming back. I joined them for the Kate Daniels read-along, and then we did Hidden Legacy, and then they've taken a little bit of a break. So, and we actually have 2 meetings this month. So the first is this month. They are starting, it's not the first live show, but the main one is Innkeeper Chronicles is the new series that we are doing. We are starting it in January. The live show for that will be January 27th, and this will once again be hosted by Heather, Stef, Megan from Mouth Vader. Stef is Novelty Corner, Heather is Hia Booktubes, and then Izzy from Happy For Now. And we will be doing 1 book a month. The first book is Clean Sweep. I was planning on ordering them all when the read-along started, which it has been announced. I have ordered my copies. I had I have a couple gift cards that I've been saving to buy books for when I find my new place. So I just got those. I still have other books that I want to get, but I got those because I want to read them. I mean, I want all of Ilona Andrews' books, but because we're doing the read-along now, I do plan on reading the physical copy with the graphic audio, which is available on my Hoopla. I'm super excited. I love the graphic audios for ACOTAR. I cannot wait to see what they did with Ilona Andrews. I'm very excited about that. And then there is a bonus of the read-along live show, because announced like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, not very long ago, was Magic Tides. This is Kate Daniels 10.5, or Kate Daniels The Wilmington Years #1, another Kate Daniels spin-off series, but this one focusing on Kate and Curran. And I think it's gonna be the year, it's set after book 10, which is Magic Triumphs. So I'm guessing this is gonna be what happens with Kate and Curran between Magic Triumphs and then the start of Aurelia Rider. I don't know. They've said it is one of their long form novellas, but that is a new release. It comes out January 17th, and there will be a live show from the girls that did the Kate Daniels read-along. So Heather, Stef, and Megan. Izzy wasn't a part of the Ilona Andrews read-along at that point. And they're doing a live show January 23rd, which is the Monday. I believe the Monday after it's released. Both of these live shows this month, I believe, will be on Stef Novelty Corner's YouTube. So if you're excited about either of those, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Magic Tides. I'm like, I've wanted to read Kate Daniels forever, and because of the read-along, I started it, and now I am 100% on board. I will be picking up Magic Tides as soon as I can when it releases. And I will be ordering a physical copy when the physical copy goes live. For other read-alongs that I would like to participate in, Jenn from the Book Refuge and Jackie are doing a read-along for the ABCs of Love, which looks like it's a bunch of indie authors Kindle Unlimited books where each author was assigned a letter. And so for January, they're starting this read along. It will just be throughout 2023, I believe. And so for January, we are reading book A and B. So that is Amor by Kimberly Knight and Beckon by Verlene Landon. These are both new to me authors, and they are available on KU. So the live show for that one is January 28th. So there's a good chance I will be able to pick these up, but we will see what happens. And like I said, they are on KU. And then there's another read along that's starting that I'm interested in joining. And I don't know when I'm going to have time to read all of these books, but this is by, or hosted by, Sam Reads a Little, Crystal's Bookish Life, Kaitlin, who is the Love Librarian, Kerrie from Booked for Romance, Zay from Witty Reads, and Honest Fiction. And they are doing a Vampire Academy read-along because I believe there is a new TV show coming out on Peacock. And I don't know. I never read this. I'm a little older than when these books kind of got popular. I never really got into YA, even as a YA aged person myself. I kind of went from chapter books to adult books. So I never really got into that, which is surprising because when I was younger, I was a huge Buffy stan. I was a vampire girl. And because I didn't read either of these series, I keep thinking it's Vampire Diaries, but it's Vampire Academy. And I know that they are different, and I'm sorry if you love either of those series and are angry that or are frustrated that people get them mixed up, because I'm one of those people. But because I haven't read them, and I keep looking for Vampire Diaries on my Hoopla and everything, and I couldn't find it, or on my Libby. And then finally I was like, I think her name is Rochelle, but it was spelled weird, so I was looking her up. And then I was like, oh, it's Vampire Academy. No wonder I can't find anything. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, and I don't even know if Vampire, maybe that's just the TV show. I don't know. But yeah, so these are young adult, I believe, paranormal romance. And I'm not sure whose channel the first book is, or the first live show will be on. They are meeting on January 30th. And they will be discussing the first 3 books. So that's Vampire Academy, Frostbite, and Shadow Kiss. Now, I have checked out book 2 and book 3 on my Libby. And I've put a hold for both the audiobook. Wait, I've checked it because I have 2 different libraries. I was able to get a hold on the audiobook at one library, although that hold is like 6+ weeks, so I don't know if it'll come in time. And then that same library had books 2 and 3 in ebook, so I went ahead and checked them out right away. But I also have the ebook for the first book on my other library. So I went ahead and checked that out because depending on what I'm kind of feeling like, maybe I'll pick them up earlier in the month. And I feel bad kind of checking them out if somebody else was going to get to them before me. But I don't know how many people around me are participating in like BookTube and Bookstagram or something like that. So at the very least, I'll try to read them before the original 21 days ends. So yeah, and the live show, I can't remember if I said, is January 30th for that one. So I have potential live shows on the 23rd, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And the Smart Women Read Romance one is usually the last Monday of the month, so yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Okay. Now let me talk about some challenges that are going on. And we will start with the smaller ones, and then I'll touch base on some yearly ones that I would like to start. But I'm going to go over those more on my 2023 plans, but I will just kind of mention them here. So I have, I'm currently in the middle of Winter's Kiss, which is hosted by Shelby Taggart. She does seasonal reading challenges that are usually 3 months long, and Winter's Kiss is December 1st through February 28th. She has 3 different bingo boards. I've actually already completed bingo board number 1 because I read so many novellas in December for Vlogmas. So I'm currently working on board number 2. I'm hoping I'll at least finish board number 2 by the end of February, but because I've already finished board number 1, it's not going to be a priority for me until we get closer to the end of the deadline. And if I only need a couple of books to finish it off, then I will focus on those. But because I've already finished the 1, I feel like I've participated. Like, even if you don't finish it, you're still participating. But for me, I feel like I participated and I finished 1 bingo board, so I'm not gonna like push myself to make sure that I get all 3 done or the second one done. But you still have time if you would like to join in. Also starting, started on January 5th, December 15th, I'm a part of the Romance Readers Reading Challenges group on Goodreads, and they do quarterly challenges, but they usually start in the middle of a month. So this one is December 15th through March 14th, and the theme for this month is Starbucks. So there's 30 prompts based on 30 Starbucks drinks. And then there's some bonus ones, so if you don't have any books that fit some of the prompts, you can still kind of get it. This one, they usually have 4 levels, so you can just kind of read however much you want in the 3 months. And level 1 is 5 books, level 2 is 10 books, level 3 is 20 books, and level 4 is 30 books. But if you wanted, you could read 5 of their bonus options and not follow any of the prompts and still complete level 1 and finish the reading challenge. So I will link Romance Readers Reading Challenges group down below along with everybody else. All right. Also, reading challenge, I believe is for 3 months. I did not write the date down, but Izzy from Happy For Now and Shae are hosting I believe it's the first 3 months, it might be the first 2 months of 2023, the Read What You Own challenge. Everybody is kind of allowed to kind of make their own rules for this. So I'm going to try to focus on for me, I'm going to do this as not buying books, but I will allow myself to check out books from the library for book club related things, or if I need to fulfill a certain prompt for one of my reading challenges and I don't have something that I have in my physical or ebook copies to read, I will allow myself to check out a book from the library because it's not purchasing anything. So I have that caveat, or I have that rule for myself that I'm not going to count checking out library books as purchasing a new book, because I've utilized my library more the past couple months and I want to continue utilizing them as much as I can. As for also not buying books, I am going to throw a caveat in there. I mean, like I've mentioned earlier, I do have a bunch of money set aside, like gift cards and stuff, some back from my birthday in June, to purchase new books once I got to my new place. If I just decide that I really want to finally get some of those books once I'm in my new place, I'm only going to use my gift card amount. But outside of that, I'm only going to allow myself to purchase a new book if it's something I've already pre-ordered, or if it's a book I've intentionally not pre-ordered because I planned to buy it in the store on release day for some of my auto-buy authors. For example, Vivian Lorette's new book comes out in February. She's one of my favorite historical romance authors. I have not pre-ordered it yet because I wanted to try to pick it up in a big box store on release day, but my local stores have been whoever stocks them has been so behind that I might end up just pre-ordering it. But I have several authors that are auto buys that I either already have pre-ordered or I plan on either pre-ordering closer to release day or picking up on release day. But because I had already planned and budgeted for those, like some of these months prior, I am going to allow myself to buy those, especially because I want to help my favorite authors on release day for a new book. Also, if it is a book I'm reading for a book club and it's not available on any of my library apps or as a physical copy from my library, which I always forget to check that because it's just so easy to check for ebooks and audiobooks, and I don't have a physical copy library app on my phone, but maybe I should look into it and see if they have that and then possibly look at that as an option as well. But if I don't have a way for that or some of my subscription services like KU, I will allow myself to buy the ebook if I have to. And that is only for book club books that I really want to read or I am participating in. As for KU, I am going to try to stick to what I already have checked out on KU. I might go through, see how many open spots I have, and try to overload it and get to my max number by January 1st. However, once again, I will throw in the caveat, if it's a book club book or a read-along book on KU that I want to pick up, or something for like a reading challenge I'm doing, I will allow myself to check out that. If I am continuing with series, like I have book, like one, because I know like I have, I'm in the middle of a couple of Alessa Thorne's series, and I have the next book already saved on KU. But if I want to continue binging the series, I will, or binging an author, I will allow myself to do that, because then I'm still going towards wanting to finish that series or an author's backlist or whoever it might be. So I am also throwing that caveat in. If I will check out, so I can check out new books on KU if it is a new, like if it's a book club book or a reading, or a book specifically to meet a weird reading challenge prompt, if I'm continuing a series, or if I'm continuing the same author. So I'm going to try to stick to those rules, but we will see what happens. I have a lot of stuff going on, as you can probably tell. But I'm going to keep that in mind and try to do that. I'm not really doing this in order that I have written them down. So, another reading challenge I am participating in. But a lot of these I think will kind of cross over with each other, which will be nice. So I am a fan of Buzzing About Romance podcast, and they have a website called Bookcase and Coffee, and I have participated in their last couple reading challenges. Had a lot of fun. It's super, I love their Discord. There's a lot of fun. I don't always read the group books together, but I like seeing what everybody thought about the group books and if I want to pick them up or not. And I've been kind of introduced to some authors, or moved some authors up my TBR that I wasn't really focused on because of them, in chatting with the people in that Discord. But for January 1st through March 31st, they are doing their New to You Author Challenge. They are going to do monthly prizes, giveaway kind of a thing. And the only really requirement is that you read 2 new to you authors a month. You can read more for extra entries for that monthly prize, but the minimum is 2 new to you authors a month for January, February, and March. And looking at my list of my books I would like to read, the 2 for the ABC Read-Along are new to me author. The Vampire Academy series is a new to me author. So, I mean, there's 3 which would meet the minimum there alone for January. So, this will not be a priority for me. It will just be a keep note of new to me authors. And I usually read several new to me authors a month anyway. But then, at least for February and March, if things are a little, like if we're getting close to the end of the month and I found, oh no, I didn't read a new to me author, or I didn't read my second new to me author, then I will try to find a new to me author. And this is where those caveats for the Read What You Own challenge kind of get loosey-goosey. If I need to find a new to me author that I maybe don't have on my shelf, like if I don't have any on my shelves, or if I don't have any already checked out on KU or something like that. So there are those. As for new releases, I plan on doing my Q1 new releases video. That should be up in a couple days. So I plan on having it up before the new year, so you can see those. But like I mentioned earlier, I think the only book that I probably will get to in January from my January anticipated releases is Magic Tides. And let me just double check on my list and make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, okay. Also new releases. Ish. So, I would like to pick up A Bargain with the Fake King by Megan Van Dyke. She is a new author from 2022. She had her debut in 2022. It was... Oh my gosh, I'm spacing. It's the first book in the Reimagined Fairy Tale series. That's a romance between Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. I have the second book on my saved over here because that came out recently. I need to read that. But I need to read this series, or I need to start this series as well. This is the first book in her Courts of Fairy series. And I actually won a giveaway from her for an ARC for the second book in the series, which is Bound to a Fae King, and this comes out January 31st. So I would like to get the ARC read before before the book is out. So I would like to read this one first, and then I can read the ARC. And then I only have one other thing to kind of do, and that is another of the Romance Readers Reading Challenges group. However, I will also kind of touch base that I plan on joining a couple different yearly read-alongs. Usually I do the Heaving Bosoms Reading Embrace. I don't believe I will be doing that this year. I kind of stopped listening to the podcast, and I'm not really active on Facebook in there anymore, so I'm not really active in their group anymore. So I don't think I'll be participating in that, but Romanceopoly is back. I will link the website down below. I'm going to try to participate in that, and I plan on trying to complete the full board, so 39 prompts in the entire year. I might do my rolls, as I was hoping to do my first roll here, but I plan on getting the board printed out somewhat professionally so I can actually have it to play with. But I haven't gotten that yet, and I wanted to get this up before January. So I will be starting that at some point, but like I said, it's a year-long one, so I might not push myself to start it until I get to my new place, but we will see what happens there. And then I'm also potentially joining the Guildathon read-along or reading challenge. I don't know what they're calling it, but I will touch base on that more in my, both of those more in my 2023 plans. But I just wanted to throw that out there that I am doing a couple yearly challenges, which I normally do. I'm just not participating in the ones that I have previously done. I'm switching over to these two to see how they go. So let us talk about my final little reading challenge that I am participating in, and that is the Yahtzee 13-month challenge in the Romance Readers Reading Challenges group. This started in March of 2022, and we are playing Yahtzee, and you roll your 5 dice, and you do your normal goal like you're playing Yahtzee. You only have to do one a month, so our final one will be March of this coming year. And yeah, so I have my 5, I did pip style dice that I pulled in March of last year. And I will pull, I have notes. I have notes everywhere, but that shouldn't be surprising. So the prompts that I have left for the yearly reading challenges are 4s, 5s, and Yahtzee. So we will see what happens. Let me pull a pen here because I want to keep note, because I like to keep track of my rolls to see what happens. So hopefully we get those. There is, if your roll ends up not meeting one of the challenges, you just apply that roll to that challenge, but you use the bonus prompt that they put in the forum instead of the prompt of that normal goal. So that kind of allows some leeway if you don't actually meet the goal. Because for the numbers 4 or 5, you have to have at least 3, which is slightly annoying. It should have been at least 2. I mean, technically in Yahtzee, it's at least 1, but let's do the rolls here. And this should be the last thing. Well, I rolled 1, 4, 4, 5, 5. How am I supposed to? I need both 4s and 5s. All right, so we're going to re-roll the 1. Let's do 5s. I'm feeling the 5s. So. All right, so we're going to re-roll those 3. All right, I'll set my 5s aside. Roll number 2, and this is normal Yahtzee rolls. You get to roll 3 times. Oh, okay. Okay, there's another 5. Cool. So we at least got our 5 prompts. So I got a 3, a 5, and a 6. 3, 5, 6. So, final one. Do you think we'll be able to roll 2 5s? It's a 5 and a 4. Oh my gosh, I'm so close to a Yahtzee. Oh my goodness, it's a 5 and a 4. Oh. Man. All right. So that's 4 and 5. So I am doing 5s. So the prompt for 5s is a 5-word title or the 5th book in a series. So at the very least, House of Earth and Blood. So at the very least, one of the books already on my TBR will cover that. So this is, I mean, this one is fairly easy to meet. It's just kind of figuring out which book of the month is going to work for it. So it should be that one, but if I read a book before I get to that one that meets the prompt, I'll use that one instead. But like I said, this one's a fairly simple one. There's only the one that we have to do. And usually whatever I'm already planning on reading for the month works for this. I don't pick another book separate for this. I know a lot of people like to do their reading challenges where they specifically pick books that don't cross, but for me, because I like participating in reading challenges, I like to kind of cover my bases as much as I can and find books that will fulfill a prompt in all of my reading challenges that I have actively going. So we'll see how this goes. This is a lot, but you know, I'm starting my second year of BookTube, and I'm kind of hoping that I will be able to kind of keep rolling and doing a little bit more. And I definitely read a lot less this past year, so I'm hoping I can pick up more of these books on audiobook and read more audiobooks. I guess one other thing I want to kind of mention, I'll also go over this in my 2023 prompt, but in the past, I have pulled my origami flowers, and I have a backlist author I would like to continue, a new to me author I'd like to try, or what is the third? Oh, continue a series I've already started. For now, I'm going to pause on doing this. I actually put together a new list of 10 of each prompts, so I might either add them to this or just take these away and redo them. But I'm not going to quite... My goal is still to read at least one book in each of those prompts, but I'm not going to pick them beforehand. But I'm more going to try to focus, at least to start of the year, of making sure I read the 5 main subgenres that I track, especially for the end of the year. So I would like to read a contemporary, a fantasy, a sci-fi, a paranormal, and a paranormal. At least one of those a month. Hopefully better than like 4 or star or better. But at the end of the year, the past couple years, I have done brackets, and this past year, my sci-fi and my paranormal reading was a little low, so I kind of had to fudge some things to make those brackets work. So I definitely want to avoid having to do that. Plus, I love paranormal and I love sci-fi. They're 2 of my favorite subgenres. And I don't know why. Did I list them all? I didn't say historical. Contemporary, fantasy, historical, paranormal, sci-fi. And then contemporary, I have dark and romantic suspense, and all of those that are subgenred under contemporary. But that's a whole other thing. So instead of focusing as much on these prompts to start, I want to try to focus on at least reading one book in each of those 5 subgenres, if not more. And hopefully maybe reading one until I get a 4-star or better for the month. But I feel like that's easily doable because a lot of these will probably be highly rated books anyway. So it's more just finding 1 or 2 books that aren't already on a book club or book challenge or read along TBR to fulfill the remaining subgenres. But a lot going on for 2023. Stay tuned for my 2023 plans. I will probably combine that with my 2022 wrap up and thoughts about that. But yeah, let me know what you're excited to read come January. If you're participating in any of these book clubs, read-alongs, or reading challenges. If you know of any others that I may or may not be interested in. I like to just look at them all and decide if I want to participate or not. And even if I can't participate, I like to at least save the information, because then I can just do the read along or use them as prompts for myself at a later date for just like my own little reading challenge or something like that. So definitely let me know. There are Discord groups about it that I am a part of. So if you'd like invites to any of those or more information, certainly reach out and let me know. If you would like to leave me an emoji down below, I don't know, we're in January. My theme for January for all of my templates that I'm using is all snowy, so leave me a snowflake or something snow related. Whatever you think is cute. And I will see you all very soon.